I'm gonna talk about games that I haven't played in a while. So I haven't played these games like in a long time, right? So please like, share, subscribe. I share the video all over and comment down below games you haven't played like in a while. So the first one here is going to be actually a Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. So Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and this was a multiple version. So the PS2 version was different from the PS3 version, etc. Right? Slash a 360 version. So each version of the game was slightly different than the other one. Now Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. This was my first multiplayer. Right? So this is how I got introduced at the multiplayer back in 2011. Right? But my brother, he's a huge Transformers fan, right? But Transformers, so play as Autobot, play as a Decepticon, and there's lots of different options to in terms of characters. Once you get further into the missions, transforming is very fun. I remember the multiplayer as well. I think the multiplayer added in new characters. So like it had like for example Jetfire, right? Jetfire or a Ratchet, I believe, it added, right? So yeah. So the next one is gonna be a Devil May Cry. Now this is more so a DMC3. I haven't played DMC3 in a while, or DMC1. So more so like with a Devil May Cry 3 and 1. I haven't played 2, but and each DIA collections they're always very cool to have because you can have 3 games in one, 2 games in one. For example, the God of War HD collection or the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. But so Devil May Cry 1 and 3, Devil May Cry 1, I believe, in terms of, from what I can remember, chronologically took place after Devil May Cry 3. So it's like the games are out of a chronological order. But yeah, Devil May Cry 1, and I believe so. One had you fight Mundus, 3 had you fight, what was it, Dresser and a Virgil, and yeah. The very interesting I think about these games I remember is that very cool in terms of the art style and the weapon of variety, weapons Dante had in the game. And obviously after 3 they introduced Nero. So Nero was introduced in Devil May Cry 4. The next 2 are going to be SOCOM 3 and SOCOM Tactical Strike. Now, Tactical Strike is a little a bit like of a weird game, in that it's kind of like a turn-based shooter. So you don't really control, the characters as much, right? It's more of like a turn-based thing. Now this was very weird, like for a SOCOM game, right? For a third-person shooter, right? But it is very strategic, right? In terms of I remember it being like Alpha Bravo team and go to Zulu, Charlie, Bravo, and another one's gonna be SOCOM 3. Same idea, but this is more of the traditional SOCOM game, more like SOCOM 1 and 2. This one added in, from what I can remember, it added in vehicle use, so you could use vehicles. Now coming up to here, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is another game. Now, Rise of the Silver Surfer, this one and the 360 version, I guess I could say, but this is different than the 360 version. It's very cool. I plays kind of like look up. It plays kind of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, right? But it's only the Fantastic Four, right? I remember growing up as a kid, I would play this game so much, right? And this is like a movie game, so it's based off of the 2007 movie, right? With some additions here, right? And I remember they added the Super Skrull and the Skrull faction, which was pretty cool. But yeah, Fantastic Four as a Silver Surfer. Another one's gonna be Midnight Club 4 or Midnight Club Los Angeles. Now, I'm very familiar with Midnight Club 2 and 3. But I played 4 very briefly, probably 7 years ago. Now, Midnight Club 4, it's a game, similar thing to Midnight Club 3, where the customization was a big thing, in the game. You would have your own garage and you could customize the vehicles. From what I can remember, this game had, in terms of racing games, the amount of events and content in the game is crazy, right? It is insane. Tournaments, time trials, regular races, right? Unlockable modes. so many like lots of different so many events and side content to do in the game and main content. But yeah, lots of vehicles. Midnight Club is known for having a lots of vehicles, more so especially like with this one. Another one's gonna be Mortal Kombat 9. So Mortal Kombat 9 complete edition. I remember this one for having very badass DLC characters, and the roster was pretty badass as well. So Mortal Kombat 9, and this is the one where I remember, there's the tournament, and I can't remember. I'm pretty sure Shao Kahn was a playable character like at some point via DLC. I remember it had Kratos, so Kratos is like I'm a huge God of War fan, and it was very cool to see Kratos in Mortal Kombat. But like in terms of roster, this one had obviously Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Ermac, Raiden, all the different characters, Striker, Baraka, etc. So, yeah, this one, the roster in this game was very solid. Now, I haven't played GTA 4 in a while. GTA 4 is a game I haven't played in a while. I did play the DLCs for it, so the episodes of Liberty City. But GTA 4, so I remember it being, a Nico Bellic, you have various kind of drug factions in the world, and yeah. Now, a GTA, a Grand Theft Auto is, probably the most popular gaming franchise, right? Based on sales and media attention and yeah. But GTA 4, like, right, I can remember beating it probably 10 years ago, multiple times. I remember some of the mechanics and physics were kind of dodgy, right? But it's to be expected like at the time. Now 4, I remember 4. I really enjoyed 5, and I can't wait for 6. Hopefully coming this year. Now this is Street V3s. I haven't played this since I was like like a child. It's been a long time. So Street V3 by EA Sports, big. As you know, EA makes a lot of the sports games. I'm pretty sure this was before the days of NBA 2K. But Street V3 is like an arcade kind of dunk or 1v1, 3v3, 5v5 basketball kind of game, right? There's tournaments, and it's very cool. From what I can remember, there was online, but I remember growing up, I didn't have access to online. But very cool. I remember it having very cool dunk animations and dribble animations. And I believe this is Baron Davis on the cover. The next one's going to be Ice Age 2. So Ice Age 2 is a game. Now, I remember really liking this game. And Ice Age 2 this is like a movie game. But Ice Age 2 was a game that I really enjoyed watching, right? Sorry. I was a movie I really enjoyed growing up. Ice Age 2 had a meltdown. And Ice Age has lots of movies. I believe they had 6 different movies, right? So this one, you could play as Scratch, Sid, Manny, Diego, all of them, I believe, and very interesting, unique level of design in it. And yeah, a Wolverine Origins for the PS2, and this is different than the PS3 version in terms of gameplay, but story-wise, it's basically the same. So Wolverine Origins for PS2, Origins Wolverine for PS2. So this is not as long as the PS3 version. And I did some research. The PS3 version for this game, it can go up in price, right? Because of the rarity. But yeah, Wolverine Origins and, by Activision, a pretty cool game, right? Yeah. Last one's going to be Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. Now, I remember this game. One of the first games I ever played on console. Hot Pursuit 2, and so many, there's so many memories with this one. From the tournaments to the cars to upgrading stuff, to play as cop, play as racer, and it is very cool. This Hot Pursuit 2, so the same. I talked a lot about Hot Pursuit 2010, and this is basically the same concept, but it is more basic. There's not as many cars, but still for the time period, And this is early 2000s, right? So the music was of that era, and the obviously the cars at the time Ferrari F50, Lamborghini Murcielago, you know, the top echelon arc of cars back at that time. But yeah, I remember it being, you know, no, I haven't played this like in a while, but I remember it being very, in terms of like, you know, gaming wise, this one I had a lot of strong memories with this game. I remember the sceneries, the racetracks, the challenges, and how, you know, playing as cop and the racer option was very cool. So yeah, games I haven't played like in a long time. Thanks for watching.